So we have the 6 anchors cut, and now we have these 2 pieces here, and I'm going to show you what these 2 unusual pieces are for. Now I've placed the anchor in each strap, and this is basically so I don't forget it. It's all where it's supposed to be, that way when I disassemble it I will know exactly where they're at. And so it's not going to obviously face up, they're going to be driven into the ground. And that's 18-inch length, so probably, I don't know, at least 15 inches are going to be into the ground, and that will anchor the greenhouse. Up front, I had an issue, that's why I created these blocks, because there's no ground, and this wall was wobbly. Not anymore, and I needed it about where it's supposed to be when I set it up at the destination, so I could put the door on properly. So that's why I created those blocks there. Keep it stabilized and allow me to put up the door. Okay, before we can install the door, we need to modify it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the majority of the screen off to this point right here. Okay, I've removed the screen and the beading material that holds it in place, this stuff right here. And we're off to the next step. I put that material in the greenhouse here because I've got another use for it. Now I bought some screening spline. That's basically this stuff right here. Now I took my RotoZip tool here and I made a channel all the way across this one. It's not the prettiest, but I think it'll function well. I also cut a piece of plastic that's going to go here. It's going to cover this entire area. So this part's going to be screened and this part's going to be plastic. Now in this seam I ran both the screen and the plastic along this new seam I made. Now I'm running the plastic only down this way. And if you don't have one of these tools, you can get them at the same place you get this stuff here. And I think it's near the Paint and Lowe's. I'm not sure about Home Depot and the other box stores. But anyway, this is made for that, to put it in here and move it along and push it in the little gap there. Okay, plastic is on all the way around, and over this one I put extra staples, but also just for insurance I put staples all the way around in various places. I just don't want the little stripping to start pulling out, and still people can, or the winner can take and pull the staples out and then re-put in plastic or screen or whatever they want. So this is what it looks like so far. I've got my chop saw here. I got a strip, 1x2, and I have it at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to make a cut. Now I lay that strip down, I come over to the edge here and I make a mark, and we're going to make this cut at this angle. The hammer's just there to weigh it down for the videoing. Now I'll take the first one and I measured it and made another one exactly like it. And can you guess what we're doing? Yes, we're making a box, a frame if you will. Now you can kind of see the box frame. It's not put together yet, but it's there. And we have to make an attachment point. So we're going to take a piece of the 1x2 and we're going to affix it to this bar that already exists. Then we will have a place where we could put hinges on to lift this door. Now, the door, since we're here, I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. This door is going to be covered with plastic, and one will be able to lift it and have air come in through the screen on the bottom. Now, these new screws are pretty good about not splitting wood because they kind of wallow it out some, but it does still happen. So when you're in an area like close to an edge or thin wood, it's best to pre-drill out the holes before you put the screw in. That way it doesn't split. Alright, that's on. We only put 3 in. We don't need a whole lot of screws to hold that up. Those screws hold a lot of weight. Now we're going to use these brackets to attach the frame. Frame is screwed together. And this is what it looks like on the other side. It is not absolute perfection. You won't get absolute perfection with Brent. So that's what it's going to look like. It's going to be on hinges and lift up. On the other side, you can see that I put staples in, and I took each corner bracket off, and I put the plastic underneath it and put the screws down. I did each one at a time. After I stapled the plastic on, then I cut the plastic off. So that is it. Now we'll attach the hinges, and this will be a nearly done deal with the lift up door. Added a handle, same kind used on my big greenhouse. So this is what holds the door closed. If you want to open it, just do that and lift it up. Fits in there snug. And that's how we hold it open. You can see on the bottom there that it's lifted off the ground some, and that's because I have to install the hinges, and when I open it I don't want it dragging the ground. In fact, I want it as close as possible up here to this seam, this top strip here. And so putting it on top of that scrap 1x4 on the bottom allows me to put the hinges in up top. Well, both hinges actually. And you can see that the door width is wider than the strip width, and that creates a problem with putting hinges up. So I'm going to have to put some scrap 1x2s here so it matches up with the door. And so there you have it, door installed. Now I put this on here. I had a clasp, a metal clasp. It didn't quite line up and do as well, and I thought this looks pretty good actually. It's what I've been using in my greenhouse for a really long time. So that opens and closes, or keeps it closed. And then you can see here, we just open it just like so. And that has it. There you go. I'm going to create a shelf here. You can see I cut a 30-inch piece of wood to match the frame of the window, and I have it viced down, and I'm going to screw it in from the other side over here in 4 different locations, and that'll create a shelf. Remember that leftover piece of screen from the front door? Well, it's going to go over the back. The reason for this is we don't want any insects to be able to find their way inside this greenhouse, or birds, or possums, or bears. We're at the back side of the greenhouse now. In order to put the screen up, we have to take the tacking strip down, and that's what we're going to do, one piece at a time, put the screen up. And the screen is installed now, and it is not super tight, and there are extra bits of screen behind there and all. In other words, it's roughed in, but we're going to clean that up when we assemble it at the location. Now you can see here I've made a door that is covered in plastic. That way you can completely seal up the greenhouse, and there'll be no wind, no environment whatsoever. It'll be completely sealed. What I did was took a piece of 100-pound nylon cord, and I tied it around that area there, and it is strung to the window. I've got a little hook here, and that's to grab and pull it and open it, and it's also to hold it in place here. I'll let the nylon cord hang down so you can see this is fully open. It's fully closed, and you can see that the nylon cord will hold here to keep it out of the way. Or if you wanted to, you could take it off and just wrap it around the edge like that. If you have electricity, you can put a box fan in it like I've done here. You can set it on a timer or a switch, and that way when that is open and this door is completely closed, air will pull in from here. I feel it right now while we're talking with the fan on medium, and it'll keep the greenhouse much cooler. If you have that flap closed and the front door flap closed, it absolutely boils in here. And if you're a winter gardener, that is good news. It'll keep your plants nice and toasty warm in the middle of winter. So I gotta sign my work, right? Here you go. My first name is Charles, B is Brent. That's Montgomery, believe it or not, September of 2016. Oh hey, you're still here? I was just about to watch some TV. Let's see what's on. Oh my god, I love this guy. I love this guy. Hey, everybody, before this goes on too much and I get into the show, I want to tell you that I'm finished with the greenhouse, so unless you want to hang out and watch this guy with me, we'll see you later.
I think you'll find it's pretty interesting. So stay tuned.